think these 18.5-inch biceps are impressive? Well, they are. But what's even more impressive is I'm going to show you 5 ways that you can improve your advertising results today. Let's get started. With how competitive advertising is becoming online, it's never been more important that your ads stand out online. And that's what we're going to be covering today. So with your advertising, the number one thing you should always remember is people don't buy products. They buy solutions to problems. And a big mistake that I've seen so many businesses make is when they're advertising their products, they talk about, hey, we have this amazing essential oil, or hey, we have this amazing massage heat therapy ball. Hey, we have this amazing widget, thingamajig, whatever, but they don't focus on what problem that product solves. So I want to use an example of the meteor from Milestorm. So my business partner owns this company. He became a client, but before me, he had probably spent about $200,000 in marketing and advertising that did a big fat zero return, which is pretty bad. So I came in and helped him with the Facebook advertising and Google advertising and everything. And when I looked at the ads, all of the ads were really focused on it's a massage heat therapy ball. And that's it. That doesn't mean anything to someone. Hey, it's a massage heat therapy ball. Cool. It's more expensive than the other ones. I'm not going to buy it. But what we then started doing is focusing on how this product helps relieve pain from plantar fasciitis, sciatica, back pain, neck pain, stiff sore muscles, chronic pain. It helps relieve this pain. And so when we wrote our ads that, hey, the meteor through heat and vibration therapy can help relieve the pain from plantar fasciitis, the people who have plantar fasciitis see that and they're like, oh my goodness, I have plantar fasciitis. And this helps with that. My foot, which plantar fasciitis is where your foot hurts a ton. If you have that, go check out the meteor from Milestorm. Little plug. When we focused on people's pains, and this is the example of someone's literal pain, the results were just night and day. Our click-through rates tripled or quadrupled because we're no longer focusing on, here's this product, check it out. This helps relieve this pain. So as a recap, we want to focus on the solution to the problem rather than the feature of the product. Now, let's get to the next topic, which is getting to the point. Attention spans are getting shorter and shorter. You have 5 seconds to get someone's attention, so you have to make it count. If you're an advertiser or a business owner that's running your ads or whatever, you always have to have the mindset that you need to cut out the fluff. If you don't need to say something, don't say it. And that's where a lot of people have a hard time. They write their high school papers, they have to expound on something and blah, 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 blah. You don't need to with advertising. Your job of your ads is just to get to the point of that very first topic we covered, right? What problem does this product solve? And you have to do it as quickly as possible. So the next part of this video I want to cover is some of the content that will help you sell your products quickly and efficiently, focusing on the problem that you solve with your product. And the very first thing that you have to think about is your hook. It's the thing that gets people to stop scrolling and actually watch what you have or read what you have to say. And so some of the different ways that we can do that with video, just some high-level quick things to catch that are pretty easy ways to catch people's attention is one, flashing colors, flashing lights on the video. Something that has bright lights and it's something that pops is always a great way to stand out and get people to stop scrolling. Number two, movement. If your ads can have movement, fast movement, and quick cuts, that's going to help get people's attention much better than if you have some long opening scene with your logo popping up and or nice drone shot over the mountains or whatever. That doesn't catch people's attention for your ads. So what you want is quick, fast movement to help people stop and watch. The other one that I love using is having ad copy pop up on the screen with dynamic text where, it just pops up and has some movement because it combines the movement and the colors, but also you can get your messaging out right in front. And that's where I want to kind of talk a little bit more about the copy as well. Focusing on the first 2 points of this video, we talked about, you got to focus on the solution to the problem that your product solves, as well as getting to the point. So with your Facebook ad, for example, right? You've got your post, you got the picture or video, right? Well, it's a video. You have a button here, you've got the headline here, but you have, and your Facebook stuff, blah, blah, blah. So right here is where you have your ad copy. And you can probably get 2 lines in on this ad copy. And like, it's one of those things that frustrates me because Facebook makes this the headline, when in reality, the headline should always be at the head of everything, right? But with the Facebook ad, the headline's down here and your ad copy's up here. So the most important thing is these 2 lines right here is that it really focuses on the first 2 things we talked about, right? Like, for example, the meteor. Help relieve pain from plantar fasciitis with the meteor through vibration and heat therapy. We hit the pain point, we call out the audience, all that stuff in the first 2 lines. Then you can go into more details or things like that. But these 2 lines are essential to getting people's attention and helping sell the product. If those 2 lines don't match up with the audience and what they actually, like what problems do they have that you're trying to solve, all that stuff, they're never gonna watch the video, they're never gonna read more, and they're never gonna click on that ad to go to your website to buy. So with your ads, just to recap, again, you've got your hook. You've got to be catching people's attention. Like with the video, it can be through dynamic text popping up. It can be through movement in the video, bright colors with images and things like that, as well as these first 2 lines being the essential part to getting to the point of your product, the problem that it solves and how it solves it. So after you get your ads up and running, then what? Well, you have to look at the data. And what's really important is that you look at the important data. A lot of agencies and advertisers and everything, they look at the wrong data, and that's why they have a hard time scaling or sustaining success with their ads. For example, they'll look at the ROAS, which is an important metric, right? Return on ad spend. Pretty much for every dollar you spend, how many dollars do you make? A 2 ROAS would be you spend $1, you make $2. That's not the best metric to look at, especially in 2021 and going forward, because iOS 14 updates and things like that, that data is not being shared back to Facebook like it was a year or 2 ago, or 3 years ago, or 4 years ago. The data is just not very accurate. So as advertisers, what we need to do is we need to focus on the most important metrics for our ads, and that is your link click-through rate. Now, if you are running ads, you want to be focusing on your link click-through rate, not total clicks, not, video views or whatever. You want to look at your total link click-through rate, because that is telling you the percentage of people who see your ads that click on your ad. And the goal of your ad is simple. It's to get people from the platform to the website. That's it. The job is to sell them enough that they will go to your platform, or that they'll go to your website. So again, with your ads, you have to be looking at the best metrics. And the most important one that you should be looking at is your link click-through rate, because that tells you how well your ad is getting people from the platform to your website. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is split testing and how to properly split test. Because a lot of agencies, especially if you're a business owner, you're going to hear this like, yeah, we're split testing this and this, and we're split testing creative and all this other stuff. And usually what's happening is the agency is just like throwing up a couple images, throwing up a couple texts, copy, and maybe some videos, and they're like, this one's performing better, and then they'll throw up a couple more. And so I want to really dive into the best way to split test your ad copy very simply and easily. So when you launch your ads, right, you have your campaign, you have your ad set, okay? And then you're going to have your ads. So the best thing to do, you should always have 2 ads for every aspect of the ad that you're testing. So for example, if you're testing the ad copy, right? So you should have this ad and you should have this ad, and everything should be the same. The image, the headline, the call to action button, the audience that you're targeting, but you should have copy A and copy B. Okay? And the only thing that's different is the copy. Because then you know which ad copy is performing best. It's very interesting how when I've gone into ads and see that, they'll have ad copy A with an image and then they'll have ad copy B with a different image. And so when they are running the ads, maybe this one's performing better, but you don't actually know, is it because of the image or the copy? So that's where you want to keep everything the same except for the one aspect that you're testing. You have to let it run, give it enough eyeballs, impressions. What we like to do is usually around 1,000 impressions to 2,000 impressions, determine who the winner is, right? And we base it mainly off of the link click-through rate, right? Because that's a big problem that you'll run into is if you base it off of how many sales and the ROAS, because those numbers aren't as accurate anymore. And what you'll find is maybe you'll get a sale here after 3 clicks, but that's not a sustainable metric, right? 30% of your people who buy your ads, or 30% of people who click on your ads are not going to buy. A good conversion rate is usually 2 or 3%. So most of the time people say like, hey, this got a sale, this one didn't, even though this might have a higher click-through rate, and they'll turn this ad off and they'll just run with this one. And then this one will tank because it didn't have sustainable results. So you have to give enough eyeballs, enough impressions for your ad to really determine if it's who the winner is. So on Facebook, we usually give it 1,000 to 2,000 impressions. YouTube, we might give it 4,000 or 5,000. TikTok, usually 5,000 or 6,000 just because of the platform. So then what you do is after it's been given enough time based on the link click-through rate, we turn off the loser. And then we take copy B and we duplicate it. So copy B.2. So then now these two are the same. So then you change a new aspect. Maybe you change the headline. Maybe you change the image, right? And so now we're testing a new aspect of the ad with the best performing copy. Okay. And then we find out which works better. So then let's say maybe copy B, and you're now testing the image. That one didn't perform as well. This one performed better. So now we duplicate that again. So we now do copy B 2.1. And now we're going to have this one be the image, and this one we're going to change out with a video. So then we're continually testing and seeing which one performs the best. And depending on how big your budget, you can be doing this with like 20 different ads and 20 different aspects, 20 different, all at the same time, but you're focusing on one thing per duplication of the ad, right? One aspect to have a true A/B test. We have a control and we have a variable, okay? Just a quick wrap up. When you're split testing your ads, make sure you only split test one aspect at a time, so you'll have a control and a variable, and that you continually build off of that one split test. You give it enough eyeballs, enough impressions, so that you run the ad long enough to have statistical relevance. If you've only had your ad run to 100 people and you had one person click on it, well, the next 3 people could click on it. You could have a 3% click-through rate. So obviously you have to give enough eyeballs, enough people to see the ad to determine the winner, and you're basing it off the link click-through rate, okay? Advertising has never been more important for your business, because if you can grow and scale your advertising, you can grow and scale your business exponentially. And you don't have to rely on influencers or organic social media or retail sales or email marketing or whatever. You can continually grow and scale your business just by increasing your budget, which is awesome. So if you have any questions about digital marketing and advertising, leave them in a comment below and I'll answer them in upcoming videos. Leave a like for this video. It helps us a ton, as well as subscribe to stay up to date for all of the digital marketing news that is working right now. And I'll see you next time.